When you think of a wild place, what is it that comes to your mind? Is it an ancient forest? Some distant mountains? Or maybe a quiet spot beside a hidden loch? And how far do you have to wander to find such a place? In today's video, my friend Kathi and I are exploring whether or not a wild place could be just right outside your doorstep.
Hi and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well today. It's quite grim today in Aberdeen. There are some patches of blue, but apart from that it's quite grey. So I'm not gonna stay in Aberdeen today, but I'm just about to go to the train station and catch the train to Glasgow, because I will actually meet a friend today, Kathi. She lives in Glasgow, and we will spend the day together and we will have a small walk in the Kilpatrick Hills. It's an area I've never been to, and I'm quite looking forward to it because I'm always curious to see what can you explore and where can you hike very close to big cities, because as you all know, I don't drive, so it's always nice to know what is close to places where I can take the train to. So yeah, we will spend the day together and I will sleep at her place because tomorrow I have a day tour in the Loch Lomond, Glencoe and Oban area, and my tour starts in Castle Kerry, which is close to Glasgow. So it's very handy that my friend offered me a bed tonight. So yeah, I have to leave in 5 minutes. So I will collect all the last stuff I have to prepare, and then it's time to head to Glasgow. I hope you will enjoy this day with me, with me and Kathi. I'm looking forward to the Kilpatrick Hills, and yeah, I really hope we will have a nice day, and I will probably see you in the Kilpatrick Hills.
So Kathi, where are we going?
We are walking up that way into the old Kilpatrick Hills. It's a lovely little walk to a loch at the very top and great views of Glasgow. Well, this is gorse, grows everywhere in Scotland, and when the sun shines like today, it smells of coconuts and vanilla, and you can smell it all around you. It's quite weird.
Hello from the trail. We are just walking up this path, up the Kilpatrick Hills. It's my first time here, as I said before, and I really enjoy it. You have beautiful views of the Clyde, and I think we should see Loch Lomond as well, so I'm quite looking forward to that. There was a wildfire 4 days ago or 5 days ago in the Kilpatrick Hills, so I wonder if we will see some remains, but they extinguished the fire, so yeah, it should be safe again. And yeah, the weather is absolutely beautiful. It's the first time this year I'm walking in a t-shirt. Sorry, there was a car right now, but yeah, the weather is absolutely gorgeous. It really feels like summer, so I'm really looking forward to a summer cocktail this evening. You see this little hill here? This is Dumbarton Rock. Kathy's our guide today because she lives in Glasgow for how many years?
Almost 12 now.
She's actually from
Vienna.
Yeah, from Austria. But you wouldn't notice when she speaks. She doesn't have any German accent.
So the little hill, you see the little rocky hill, that's Dumbarton Rock. And at the bottom of it, towards the river, you see Dumbarton Castle. And that's where, I think in the early Middle Ages, kind of 1500 years ago or something, the Kingdom of Strathclyde would have had its centre at Dumbarton Rock. And there's a story that, I don't know how exactly it goes, but that the giant Fingal, who created the connection between Northern Ireland and Scotland,
The Giant's Causeway.
the Giant's Causeway and the Isle of Staffa,
Yeah.
the cave, I think there's a story about him throwing rocks,
Yeah.
and one of the rocks is Dumbarton Rock, and that's why it's
I didn't
there.
know that.
But of course, in reality, I think it's a volcanic plug, like Castle Rock in Edinburgh, or Berwick Law in North Berwick, all these little hillocks. And you can see Greenock and Gourock beyond, and that's where the Clyde meets the sea in that direction as well.
Well, it looked like
I think you can go here.
Yeah. I didn't want
Yes.
to jump. What a hard jump that was.
It's a wee bit boggy. Einmal rundherum.
Cheers. Cheers. Schön. Mit Lakritze.
habe ja in Dänemark gesehen, ich habe da alles
Ja.
gekauft, was man kaufen kann. So
Schön.
Crafts und alles. Das ist schon sehr...
Do not do this at home. This is not how you cut a scone.
How do you... What? Why not? How do you,
You
cut
don't-
a scone at home?
You don't cut it in half.
You don't?
No.
Why not? Have you seen the size of this? Nicht von hier.
Das stimmt.
Ich mach schon noch schöner.
Beautiful. French.
Überall Butter.
Rollen.
Das war nicht absichtlich. Der ist richtig lecker.
Das ist echt geil. Und den haben wir immer.
Ja, das
Ja. Feiern, kann ich mich erinnern, da war ich auf der Isle of Canna.
wir von in der Nähe von, also wir sind erst schon nach oben Well done.
We're just taking a little break here. It was so great, and it's so amazing to believe that, well, you have a beautiful view of Glasgow.
Yeah.
You're directly above the biggest city, and it's just brilliant that there's the chance for people to come here, enjoy the outdoors. I mean, you would still call it the outdoors.
It is the outdoors, but you know, you can see the pylons around us.
Yeah.
It is kind of urban.
Yeah.
If you know, we can hear the planes landing on the airport when the wind is going the right direction or so.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like it. You can't hear the road anymore. You're, you know, in a boggy landscape. There's paths, of course.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like a park. It feels like you're out
Yeah.
in the mountains. And you know, we are at the cusp of the Highlands here as well.
And it's, I think, because of all this urban infrastructure you can see here, still you have the pylons and you can see Glasgow. It's important to search for those wild places, and the wild places don't have to be, I don't know, in the middle of Scotland where there's no road or no train. A wild place can be in front of your door. Of course, sometimes it's more visible, sometimes you have to search for it, but it is a wild place.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
All of Scotland is wild yet formed and shaped by human intervention. Most of Scotland is.
I think
here
in
it
total,
just seems more obvious because
Yeah.
you do have that infrastructure
I mean,
around you.
that's a big debate anyways, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is there, of course we say there are wild places, but if you have a national park, the borders of a national park are human made. Is there a national park that's so untouched? Is it really 100% wild?
I don't think there is, especially not in Scotland. even driving through Glencoe or through, the Loch Lomond National Park, there's forestry, there is lochs that are used by humans, and there's piers being built, and there's rivers that maybe have been straightened or controlled to some extent. It's not wilderness that has never seen any kind of intervention by humans. And that intervention doesn't have to be negative necessarily, but, very often, of course, it is. Even the wild landscapes, when I think of wild landscapes in Scotland, it's the Cairngorms Plateau, it's the Knoydart Peninsula, it's Rannochmore, it's those landscapes where there are very few people who live there anymore these days. But even that, they've been turned into islands, and an island, in that sense, that's not natural either. Those animals shouldn't have just that little place to live. They should be able to roam much wider. So even though that's a wild place, it's almost like it's been artificially created as a contained wild place, and then that's not really wild anymore. But that doesn't mean you can't find the same joy and places to kind of rest and regain strength and just find some calm in life as well.
And not everybody has the opportunity.
And exactly.
I think, you know Cal Major, don't you? Mm-hmm. I think, she founded this charity, I think it's called Seafull Charity, and I don't know exactly the number, but I think they found out that 1 in 5 children in Scotland has never seen the sea. Mm-hmm. And
which is crazy.
Which is crazy, and sometimes you wonder, what is the problem? Why is it not possible for them? And I think this Seafull Charity, they try to take kids to the ocean, and especially Cal Major does paddleboarding with them, because also then she says, how are we supposed to protect something? And she especially fights for the conservation of the ocean and the whole ecosystem. How can we protect something if we have no connection to it? Yeah. And so she tries to bring the children to the sea to build this connection from a very young age.
Totally, and I think it's so important that you don't just have to have this big adventure going out into the wild. You can come and half an hour outside of Glasgow, walk for an hour, and still have that feeling of connection with nature.
And I mean, you have your podcast, Wild for Scotland, and you tell stories about wild places in Scotland. You have conversations with people who have their own connection to wild places. And why did you start this podcast? What did inspire you?
It was a lockdown thing.
A lot of things were a
lockdown things. I started during the first lockdown we had. Well, no, actually, it was a year after the pandemic started in Scotland, the lockdown started in Scotland. I needed something to do, and I wanted to tell stories that made people connect with nature, with Scotland, regardless of whether they were, cooped up in a flat in Glasgow like I was, or, waiting to be able to come back here, flying in from Italy, Australia, America, and really waiting for that opportunity to come here and visit. So it was a way, I think, to tell stories, to give people an idea of, or give people a feeling of being here from afar. But then it is to me also about highlighting places that are easily accessible in the vast majority of my stories, that most people can enjoy and find an element of connecting with nature, with the people here, with the history, with anything that is Scottish really, that isn't just, a scenic photo stop and then I'll get back in the car and continue. It's about making a kind of very personal connection and by telling my story, maybe inspiring people to write their own story, so to say, when they come and do something that is maybe a little bit different than the usual bucket list.
It's so funny that you say that you made it you started in lockdown and wanted to make at least a virtual opportunity for people to come here, because the first episode I listened was the Isle of Canna episode, and I found it because I wanted to visit Isle of Canna and I couldn't wait, and I thought, I want to be there.
It's nice because I often write stories that are based on trips I did in the past, and so for me it's an opportunity to revisit those places and those trips and those memories, and look at pictures and think back of what I smelt and what I felt and what I saw and what when I
Yeah.
heard, and all these things. It's quite nice to revisit those moments.
And I think since lockdown as well, more and more people are trying to get out and to... I can imagine that a lot of people started hill walking during lockdown. And I mean, it is brilliant. As I said, you can come by train. I mean, we cheated today a bit.
we took the car.
We took the car. We
You
cheated.
can do this walk
Yeah.
very easily
By
without a
train.
car.
There's even someone with a horse, do you see?
Oh yes, no, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great place. Dog walkers come here. You can walk as far as you want. You can do a little walk, or you can walk all the way and see Loch Lomond in the distance. Whatever you need to get out, whatever the weather does, you can just pick whatever works for you on that day.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about this place.
And in the evening, you can do a pub crawl in Glasgow.
Very true. Or have a gin and tonic in the back of your garden.
Oh yeah, that's
which
exactly
is
what
we're
we'll
going to do now.
Those who love the outdoors will understand how great it feels to be out in the wild. Whether it's mountain biking you do, hiking, trail running, or just going for a simple walk. Nothing calms my mind more than the soft breeze rustling through the branches, the cracking of twigs and stones under my feet, and the slightly cold air that seems to clear both my lungs and my mind. And the best part is, you don't always have to go far. Sure, sometimes the mountains call and we have to go. But other times, it's places like this, right on the edge of the city, that give you that feeling of escape and wilderness without needing a big adventure. Cheers. Cheers.